Hi everyone, right, this video again only little bits, clips of what I was doing. We were just too busy out there, basically forgot to film, and then my daughter filmed a little bit, and we happened to capture something again on Carl's iPad. Right, so this is a legend brace door I'm making. Anything to do with joinery, we found out the wood is very expensive. We went looking for some doors, couldn't find anything I liked, and very expensive. Like for a cheap Sapele door out there, you were looking at around about €70. Didn't like it, but the one day in Leroy Merlin they had tongue and groove boarding. Seems to be on offer, still not cheap, but for like a pack of 6 was $26.99. It seems very good quality. Kiln dried, so there's no, you know, it's not going to expand, I don't think, or shrink, because I have had that in the past where I've made legend brace doors myself from timbers I've machined the wood myself, and with green oak then, and they've shrunk and twisted and they can be a nightmare. So yeah, on this video you will see that I'm using tongue and groove. I do put a little thing in there that I should have used glue in the joints, which I do highly recommend. I don't think there was any need in this case. I didn't have any anyway, that's why I didn't rush out and go and buy any. The door's too light to have any movement as such, and in the video you'll see I've just put 3 straight stiffeners then, if you like, but I could put another one diagonal down through to form like a Z, which will give it added strength if need be in the future, or I can just nip the screws out and put some glue in and screw it all back together. It's so simple to make. When you are making them, measure your thicknesses of wood. In the video I do tell you, I think it's 40mm in total, so each piece was 20mm. I bought 35mm plasterboard screws, so you can afford to put them underneath the wood a little bit, so you've got a chance of filling if you want to, if you were painting the door and you didn't want the screw showing. I like the old rustic look of seeing the black screws, that's why I chose plasterboard screws. Yes, but you can choose what you want. Years ago when I've done my apprenticeship, the correct way of doing this, or many years ago, was actually hammering nails right through the 2 pieces of wood, letting them stick out a good 2 inches, and then bending them over and nail punching them back into the wood, and then filling, which in my opinion is probably stronger than screws, but very hard to make. But anyway, yeah, so that's how I done it. Fitting process then is just planing, which unfortunately wasn't filmed properly, it was just on a time lapse, so I couldn't learn anything new to anybody there on how I marked it out and things, but I will do that in the future because I got many more doors to make. The other thing was door furniture, handles, that is, T-hinges and hinges and things. We had a quick look out and about. I think we was in Bric-a-Marché. I couldn't find anything I liked. All the T-hinges were too short and yet too thick. They seem to be more for maybe kitchen doors or something like that, but not for what I wanted, and quite expensive, but not what I wanted. So I bought some actually off eBay, and I'll take them out with me. But I used 2 cheap T-hinges, black ones, which were on my camper van, on the door of my camper van, and I just salvaged them off there so we could get that door on, so we had a bit of privacy when we was all sleeping out there in the different bedrooms. So I hope you enjoy, but there will be better videos coming in the future, and I'll show you how to make these in more detail. Thanks anyway, bye. Hey guys, been making some doors. To find the doors out there, very expensive, not what we want.
Roughly what price are they out here?
Expensive. Anything to do with wood is expensive.
Expensive as in like Over what price?
I don't know, I think the cheapest, like a white, superiorly cheap horrible door was something like €70. But it's not the look we were going for, we want a farmhouse effect, right? So what I did find was this wood in a pack, tongue and groove, Scandinavian pine maybe, I'm not sure, but it's good quality, it's dried out, it's tidy. So I'll make a legend brace door. I've been that busy I forgot to film it, so I'll just talk through what I've done. There's your tongue and groove. Tongue, groove, push them all together. Cut them on the chop saw to, off the top of my head, 198 centimetres I needed for my doorway. 27 wide is my doorway. This is a little bit more and I'll be planing or cutting off a bit later now either side. Push it all together and now these are your strengtheners. 1, 2, 3. Chose to use plasterboard screws because they are black and I quite like the look of seeing the screws. You could fill after if you wanted to. These are 35mm screws so they don't go right the way through, and this is 20mm wood. So we've got 40mm, we've got 5mm to play with. Lots of screws. It's not the heaviest of wood, so I might not put a timber done through there and there to form like a Z. This might be sufficient enough, but I might put a piece there and a piece there as well. And just screw, and that's your legend brace door, which cost me a pack and a half, so €26.99 plus 13, €40 give or take, and some screws. So we've got a nice solid wooden door for €50, which anybody can make. Yeah, so dead bolt for a copy, over and out. Made myself a door. Doors are expensive out there, so my missus fancied legend brace doors. So I made one. Got to get some furniture back in the UK because I don't do what I want out here. So that's like bedroom number 1 there.